What's up, everybody? This is a couples review, and I'm Ashley giving you my opinion of this week's Ready to Love episode 7. Wow, it was a lot going on, some crazy, weird stuff happening with a couple of people, but let's get into it. So the guys meet in Tommy's tavern, and Tommy basically says it's the guy's turn to choose the woman to eliminate. Now, at this point, I have two people in mind. Denise, who's my girl, I do not want her to get eliminated, but she's been doing some things that I'm like, no, girl, don't do it. But she's been doing it anyway. So she's an option. And then Nyya, who we already know why. I mean, nobody wants a girl who they see is going to jump ship once you say something that she doesn't like. That just wasn't a good look, especially since Chris is their homeboy. I mean, they were cheersing to Chris and everything like that. So I can't really see a guy really being genuinely into her out of this group of guys, even though Edwin says he is. But I mean, I don't see one person that Edwin is not open to. I haven't really seen him make like this wow connection with just one person that I could pair him with. So I'm not even sure if that even means anything. I think he's just open to anybody at this point. But anyway, we see a scene with Naya and Edwin sitting by a bonfire. And Naya goes to basically say that she reached out. Well, she attempted to reach out to Chris because he was going to help her with a podcast. I'm like, girl, girl, she has the nerve to reach out to Chris to help her with something after she did him the way that she did him. The nerve of her, I think she is. Let me just say this. This is not about her in reality. This is only based off of what they have edited and put out for us to see. Okay? So she could possibly not be this way in real life, but she's just doing too much. She's doing too much. How could you really expect? I mean, who do you think you are to think that you could do somebody like that and then just reach out to them about a conversation of them helping you with something when you guys were talking, but then you just throw them to the curve and feel as if you could still reach out to them? Anyway, she found out he has her blocked or he shut his, page down or whatever. She couldn't reach him. And that was that. I thought that was really weird of her. Like she's really seeming like a weirdo on this show. Anyway, so she tells him that, which I don't think you should be talking about another guy to another guy. She shouldn't have even mentioned that to Edwin, but she did.
Let me see what size shoe you wear.
10 and a half.
Oh,
She's a mess, okay? She is a whole mess. So Winter and Jay get together and have a little talk. Winter expresses how she kind of felt some type of way, when he expressed that Joy would be his number one pick, which is fair. It was a lot. And, I saw some other point of views, and I didn't even think about the fact that it kind of seemed as if they were putting the ladies against each other, which is not cool at all. It was very awkward. It was an awkward moment for the women when it was supposed to be kind of a test for the men. Either way, she, kind of voiced, her opinion on how she felt or needed to be reassured. Um, and also admitted that it's kind of like a double standard. She wants to be able to go out and, see who's right for her, but kind of feels a little jealous when he does the same. She admitted that, and like I said, this is what this show is about. I would never go on anything like this because it's just too much. I don't like to share. So this isn't for me. And if you go on the show, you have to be ready to share for a little while, or really just have a strong heart that you're able to act the way you need to act, but not actually have true emotions attached. Winter explains to Jay that she wants him to fight for her. If she's talking to somebody, feel free to come and snatch her away. I think that's true. But I also kind of feel like if a man wants to do that, you don't have to tell him to. I don't think Jay is the type of person who needs somebody to tell him that. But then again, I don't know. Because, men are different. But I just feel like, does he really want to do that? Would he feel like he couldn't do that if Joy was, talking to Edwin and Edwin was taking all of Joy's attention? Do you really think that Jay wouldn't come up and stop it? So that's the thing. I don't know if Jay is really as into Winter as she is into him. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't really have a reason as to why he's not that into her. I just don't think that he has to be told that. I think it's important for these ladies to keep their options open. Like, don't forget to keep your option open, especially if you see that a guy is still entertaining other people. You don't have to tell them that you're keeping your option open. Just do it. That's how I would come off if I had to play this game and if I was single. But that's that on them for right now. Then we move over to Calfani and Adriana. They're together. They're playing checkers, I think. Yeah, I think they're playing checkers. They always have a playful, fun time. They have a vibe. I think Adriana knows how to vibe with anybody. I think I'm that type of person too. You can kind of adapt to people's vibe, especially if they're not like super boring. Calfani knows how to hold a conversation. So I think that she's able to, hold a conversation with anybody and kind of have fun. Kalfani, I think, is that way as well. As long as you know how to keep it lighthearted, then he can also get along with anybody as well. So, of course, they're having a good time. I don't necessarily see any real genuine chemistry between those two, but I do see a lot of lust, which I guess is okay too if that's what you want and if it's mutual and it's mutually understood. So Rashad passes by and sees them two playing a game, and then it goes to his confessionals. Like he's saying he's not worried. He sees that they're vibing, but he's secure with his place right now. So he just walked on by. He didn't have to say anything, which is what I wish Denise would have done. Denise really gave me what's that movie? Fatal Attraction, stalkerish vibes, even though I know that's not how she is. It's like she didn't have to say anything, and I don't understand why she thought that was a good move. But then sometimes people get so emotional that they can't help themselves. It's not even that they thought that would be a good move, they just can't help themselves. And honey, she loves her some Kalfani so much, she's ready to just act out. So she passes by and she's looking at them, making comments like,
Keep it cute. Keep it cute. Yep, keep it cute. Y'all messy.
acting like you're ready to jump somebody isn't going to really attract a man. I don't think. I really don't think. And she's so beautiful that she doesn't have to act like that. That's why it makes me so upset. One thing Adriana said, when she was actually doing an interview with one of my favorite YouTubers, Little Black Book, she she said that Denise could have sat down, talked to another guy, talked to one of the girls. She didn't have to really just be so pressed and focused on them mad because it wasn't a good look. It wasn't cute. It wasn't attractive. But yeah, I'm just disappointed because she doesn't have to be that way. She has options. And so she needs to play in those options until Calfani comes to her. So moving on from that mess, Alexandria, aka Alex, and Brian, they're talking. First they were standing, and then Brian asked to pull her to the side, and she kind of looked a little irritated, as if like this wasn't the right time. One thing I felt a little bit was that he wasn't reading her energy. He was just pulling her to the side and doing what he wanted to do. It's kind of like he's not present. I don't know. That's just a little quick, vibe that I'm getting from him. But anyway, they sit and talk. He asks her, basically what's up, where is she at? She doesn't know. She needs to figure it out because, her friend basically told her, you don't seem like you're really that into him. So she has to really figure out in her mind where she is. And he's like, do you want me to, pull back? She says no. He's like, do you want me to pull to the side? She's like, no, which I do kind of understand why he responded that way. He just wanted to get clarity on what she meant, which is fair enough. But then Alex tells Brian that she was in an abusive relationship. And his response, what did he say? Paralysis, pinalis? I don't know what he said, but it was like, what are you talking about? Are you in the conversation? Is this your response? I felt like this was his time to kind of open up and show his maturity, show that he's a good listener. He basically brushed past that and didn't really say anything or comment or say anything to make her feel better or say anything to make her feel reassured with him, say anything to make her feel protected with him. He sounded confused. Even Alex said that, she felt like she was trying to be open with him and he dismissed her, which I get that vibe from him. He seems a little selfish. He seems like he's not ready to love, and I honestly feel like he should be the next person eliminated on the guy's side. I'm truly ready for Alex to move on because I don't want her to miss an opportunity to get to know one of these other guys. And it could be Alex and Edwin. Not saying that I've seen them make any connection, but she just needs to move on now because it's time. He hasn't done enough to where I feel like it's worth continuing this, thing with just him. So we go to Denise and Calfani. Calfani is in Denise's room and he basically tells her how he doesn't really like, the jealousy. He doesn't think it's cool. And, Denise says that she wants another person who says, I want you to come after me. But Calfani said he's not a mind reader. He doesn't know that. But see, I just don't think, I think this is like a game because the men that really like the women and that we know for sure really like them aren't having to be told to come after me. They're actually going after the women, right? Or am I tripping? Y'all tell me if I'm tripping, please, down in the comments. Am I seeing something different? Real connections that we see, or the connections between the men who really like the certain women, they're not having to be told by those women that they clearly really like, to chase them. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know everything, but that's just an observation. Calfani says that, he wants her to be confident. He wants her to know that even if he sees her with another even if she sees him with another woman, that she's confident enough to know that, she left a mark on his heart. And Denise is like, am I not supposed to have feelings? Am I not supposed to express, myself? And I don't think there's anything wrong with expressing your feelings, but Denise didn't do it in the way that now she's doing it now at this point when she's laying in bed and she has this soft voice and she's being open and not so hard like she's ready to jump on somebody. I think that's the issue. I don't think there's anything wrong with her expressing her feelings, but walking past, making little comments like, "Oh, you funny," or what else did she say? Like, "Watch yourself," or almost basically like, "Don't play with me." Real aggressive like. And let me tell you, I'm a chocolate woman, okay? So, any woman who walks past another woman and gives the whole "don't play with me" type of vibe is aggressive. Period. To me. 'Cause those are like you getting ready to fight me type of words, honestly. It's too much. One thing that, stood out to me is that Denise said that she wants Calfani to see that there's no other connection but her. But sometimes you have to clear the pathway for the person to see that for themselves. Because you can't make anybody see that. Especially in my opinion, I feel like a man wants to make his own choices. A man doesn't want to feel like he's forced to be with you because and then he's going to feel like there could be something else that he would have rather had. But if he chose you, then he chose you at a time that he was ready and that he knows for himself that you're the one that he wants. You don't want to be with somebody because you force them or push them into being with you because it's not fair to yourself, really. But I actually enjoy Denise coming to him in this manner because she was a bit more feminine, you know, and so I really love to see her. And so I really loved to see her express herself this way. And I hope that she can continue to express herself this way. But I know it's Adriana that's making her really act up because she feels like Adriana is playing with her intentionally. And so I get that, but she shouldn't do that in front of Calfani. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in the ladies' room. Don't do that in front of him because it gets confused. Like, are you gonna are you gonna be this way with me too? You know what I'm saying? And I do feel like Adriana is playing a game and it's not cool, but you have to play the game too. If you're the only one not playing the game, then you're gonna lose. Period. So, this cute scene, Simone goes to Rashad and basically says, I like you and I want to go on a date with you. And he's like, I'm totally down. I've been wanting to have a one on one with you. So she's like, okay, just tell me what we're going to do and tell me what to wear. I thought that was so cute. Now, I normally probably wouldn't go up to somebody and do that, but this is a game, basically. So you do things a little bit different. So I love the way she did that. It was very giggly and girly. I thought that was cute. And plus, Rashad is like, this is perfect timing because Adriana, she's weighing her options. And we really haven't seen Rashad vibe with anybody else but her. So I feel like it's only fair that he do the same. And plus, Simone isn't vibing with anybody. And I like Simone. She's had some messy moments. Hopefully, that was the last messy moment. But I love the way that she did this. And I do believe that they could possibly be cool together. So so we go to Edwin and Joy. They are doing tantric yoga. I actually want to try this. I've never tried this before. I want to try it. It was really cute. I'm not sure if these yoga poses that he was doing was really like the real deal, but either way, it was cute. It gave him a way, certainly, to get closer to her and not seem like a perv. So it was perfect for him. But she seemed to enjoy it as well. You know, she was allowing him to touch her, and they were able to basically get close to each other even when they were straddling. Even when they were straddling each other, I was like, "Ooh, now they really getting close." But, you know, they were comfortable. Joy didn't seem uncomfortable. So there's still possibly a good match. But Edwin made a comment when him and maybe Jay, I think it was, when they were running, or was it Calfani? I can't remember, but he asked Edwin if anybody basically stands out. And Edwin said no. So I'm like, I would think that he would at least name Joy. You don't have one person out of all of the connections you've been making that stands out to you. I don't know why he's here. I don't know what's going on in his mind. Maybe he's not really telling us that I don't really like any of them. I don't know. So next, Brian and Winter, and then Adriana and Calfani go on a double date tiki boat ride together. Now I'm looking like this is a weird match because I haven't seen really Brian and Winter make any connection. So I don't know who asked who. But during this time, like Winter had the side eye, like kind of like, why am I here? So so it basically makes me feel like Brian probably asked her. Winter already was feeling like, am I just, a time waster for you? Or am I just taking up time because now you and Alex are kind of going through whatever, which rightfully so, because then he gives this whack, you fly, I'll be looking at you, and then gives this whack wink.
You fly. I ain't gonna lie, you know I be looking at you
Yes, you do.
and winking at you.
I feel like it reminds me of a whack player, or a guy who likes to play games that thinks he's hiding it, and that thinks he's so good at his game that he can get it, not really knowing how much of a cornball he looks. That's what Brian is giving me. And then it was so awkward when it went to Calfani and Adriana when he did that and they start laughing. I thought that was hilarious. I'm so glad they turned the camera to them because he deserved that. That was not a serious moment. So Winter asks, what does Calfani like about Adriana and what does Brian like about her? Now, Calfani gave this super cool answer. He likes their vibe. He likes that she's bubbly, her energy, some deep, deep stuff that I haven't really heard him necessarily say about Denise, but that's fine. He obviously likes her because I don't ever see Adriana go into that type of vibe with him when she's asked about him. It's not as interesting as Kalfani feels about her. Winner, don't you dare spend another minute with this guy when y'all get back on land. Do not. Don't even waste your time.
So, um, you caught my eye initially. You know what I'm saying? I love the style. I love the swag. I love the thick thighs save lives.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So we go to Jay and Joy. They're sitting on a bench and they have a cute moment. They obviously have chemistry. They make each other laugh. And even to the point where Joy is like, she never, snorts when she laughs with anybody else. I thought that was cute. That's when you have a good laugh and you really feel free around the person. I think they're cute together, and they both genuinely like each other. That's what I do see with them. He likes her, she likes him. I don't see her having to, let him know that he needs to fight for her because she gets enough attention from him. You know why? Because he genuinely likes her. Love them. So next we have Nyya trying to sell herself to Edwin uh in a way that is so not smooth, so not cute. Like, I'm gonna know how to, that's why when I look at you, I just know that I'm gonna know how to treat you business straight. Like, you don't even know this man like that. How do you know that you even want to do that? She's not even playing the game to at least, I don't know. Maybe we're missing some stuff, but I think she's selling herself too much just for the next guy. And it's not believable. It's not believable. And so Edwin tells her that she has sexy eyes, and then she gives this weird wide eye blink with her eyelashes on. I'm like, ooh, this chick is crazy. The TV picks up everything. I know she did not know that she looked like that, but her eyes, oh, it was a full, I was embarrassed. I don't think he caught it though. But we're looking at the TV, so we're looking at everything. And her eyes definitely got wider, like she was intentionally doing it. It's like, oh, girl, you are really trying to sell yourself because you do not want to. You want to make sure you leave here with your bills taken care of. I'm not mad at you. You're not doing it right. You are not doing it right. Especially when you just finished kissing Chris. Now you kiss him, and then you talking about you got a pretty kitty. Ugh, girl, I'm through. And I don't think Edwin is hard to get. So I don't think that's really saying much that he's entertaining her. I think Edwin would entertain any one of those women. I honestly do. So it's really not saying much. Then we go to Rashad, who has set up this cute back of the truck, old collectible car picnic for Simone. And I thought it was just so cute. It was a great job. She looked cute. They vibed together. They even gave a kiss. I can see them together. I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can get closer. I don't know if it's genuine on Simone's end, um, but I think Rashad needs to weigh his options. And also because Adriana and Rashad had already dated once, I don't feel like Adriana really wants either Rashad or Kalfani. Not to say, and I think Rashad may be an overall better man than Kalfani, but basically all I'm saying is he needs to weigh his options. He needs to make sure that Adriana is the In fact, the woman that he really does want to focus on.
God only duties. They all some tooties. If you look in the back, they all working with their booty.
So apparently Adriana got turned on by that, which is okay. Hey girl, whatever floats your boat. But I thought that was funny. I mean, it's nothing like doing a impromptu freestyle. You know how we do. So yeah, I'm like, okay, that's the family. That was dope. That looked fun. And so Calfani and Adriana go and talk a little bit. She tells him how she got all hot with his freestyle. And they talking and he goes in to get closer to her. I mean, it seems like he knows how to be aggressive and assertive to me, but he told Denise that he wasn't that way and he doesn't know how to do that. So Anthony and Winter get together. And I was like, what in the shorts does Anthony have on? The shorts were interesting. The whole outfit was interesting, not really my taste. I don't really think that's Winter's taste either. But you can always, work with a little outfit here and there. So don't let that deter you.
I feel like I'm at the point in my life, I just want to be good to somebody. Like 100, like no secrets, no lies. I just want to be good to you.
Anthony mentions that, through that conversation, he felt a good connection with her. He felt closer to her. So I thought that was cool. That always happens when you're, getting deep with somebody and you share with them and you share with them a part of your past. So Anthony felt like that brought them closer. I think it's cute. Anthony says that he also has a connection with Denise. So between the both of them, it's tough. I really don't know if it's really tough, if I think he really means that, because I don't really see him really liking either of them a lot. You know? Again, there's a lot of things that we don't see, but I don't see him really professing any one person more than the other. Okay, so let's go to Rashad and Alex. They go on a date, which I'm like, okay, this could be a good match. She does need to see who else, like I said earlier, she needs to see who else she could be paired with. They go and play basketball. She asks him what's the hardest thing he had to overcome. And Rashad mentions when his father passed. There's this face, and I'm laughing at the face that Alex always makes when she's supposed to, have empathy over something someone said or sympathy. She makes this disgusting like face. I don't know because it doesn't to me give off sympathy or empathy. It's like a disgusted face. I don't know. It's a little weird to me, but that's neither here nor there. Rashad Rashad asked her the same thing, and she says basically when her mom got sick and her father, you know, ha- was the and her father became, her caretaker, and basically, took care of the whole family. And I thought that was a really sweet thing. I can imagine how it felt for the family, but to have a man who will take care of you like that, I think that was a good influence on her. And she should know, just even from looking at her father, Brian, no. And Rashad is like, it's getting a little bit confusing now because he has, the interest with Simone and now Alex. Listen, I'm happy for Rashad because Adriana is choosing, and everybody needs to go out and see who else they can vibe with. And I just wish that Denise would do the same thing. So the guys all meet back at Tommy's Tavern. Tommy asks Brian how him and Alex is doing, and this is his answer.
Streaker.
Stronger and weaker.
That's some bull.
He needs to be gone, y'all. He needs to kick rocks. So then Tommy asks if anybody else has a connection with Alex. And of course, Rashid says he does. And he actually shares some information about what he learned about Alex that, enabled them to connect a little more. And Tommy asks Brian, like, did you know that? And Brian says no. So Tommy gives him the look that basically means what we're all thinking. What are you doing? Why are you staying so surface level? Why are you playing? How could you not know this about this woman that you've been spending most of your time with? What have you been talking about? Have you not been listening? Because I'm sure as a woman that she has tried to get deep with you, especially since she just went out with this guy for the first time and he's already gotten this information. So, yeah, that was all of that was said in Tommy's look. Or is that just what I'm thinking? Nah, he's thinking that too. Tommy asked Brian, "Are you listening to her?" Hearing and listening are two different things. Exactly. Exactly. So moving on. Then we go to Edwin, and Edwin talks about, his tantric yoga with Joy and, how he wanted to show her that she could lean on him completely and he take the weight. One thing I'm noticing, like I said earlier, is that we see the men putting in a lot more effort when the women are just letting them and opening up and not forcing them to do anything. Okay, message. We go to Calfani, and of course, he said he made an authentic connection with Adriana on the Tiki boat. Anthony and Jay actually say they made a connection with Winter. Jay kind of says when Tommy asks, "Are y'all getting close?" Or are y'all getting closer? Jay said, "Yeah, yeah, we're getting closer." I don't know. It didn't really seem for sure to me. So that was something I paid attention to. I don't know if it means anything, but that's what it was. Anthony said there's definitely a romantic connection. Okay, I mean, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. I don't know if we've actually seen that. I'm sure possibly that it's had to happen. We just haven't seen it on TV. They haven't given it to us on the show yet. Rashad, of course, mentions his other connection with Simone. He mentions how he would love to have another week so he could, see what's really there, which I agree. I don't know if Simone is just doing this because she feels like I need to hurry up so I can stay on the show, but I think for Rashid's sake, I don't mind it. I don't mind him having other options. And then Tommy asked all the guys about Nyya. Rashad said, he didn't understand how she cut him off so quickly off of one thing and he didn't feel like it was that serious enough. It makes him think that, she didn't like him to begin with. And for Edwin, the guy that, she's been trying to force herself on is basically saying it was a major red flag. Calfani mentions how the jealousy and insecurity that he sees in Denise, he can't deal with it and he doesn't like it. He says that when Tommy asked his relationship with Denise, and how things are going, like I said, he never really says a lot that he likes about her, but I can agree that, the way that she is acting with the whole jealousy can overpower all the beautiful things about her. And I think I would rather her not act that way so we can highlight the true feelings of Calfani rather than make it easy for him to not have to be real and not really have to say whether or not he really likes Denise or is he just leading her on. But now we will never see because he has things that he could just focus on not liking. So that was that. So now the guys at this point know who they are sending home, and we all do too. So Nyya and Rashad meet up together.
Quite honestly, when we're in the man cave and we're talking, when Chris was here, he was almost professing his love, right?
Wow.
So he was really deep.
You see how she acts like she didn't know that Chris liked her? Oh, she is something else. Let's keep going.
But, he may have been mesmerized. You're in the midst of beautiful women. So to snag one of the baddest ones probably was like for him.
Okay.
Girl, everybody here is pretty, very pretty. Anyway, Nyya decides to go and embarrass herself even more.
So for that reason, the guys have decided that you're not ready.
Okay. You could say it to the couch. That'll be messed up on your behalf.
Then she says this.
I didn't like anyone through this process. However, it's great for them to have a chance with me.
Then she got the nerve to say this.
I came on the show with lots of potentials already in store. I put those people on hold so I could give this a process to see if maybe there was something better for me.
Use a lie, girl. You lying. So ding dong, the witch is gone. And yeah, it was about time for her to leave. Now, next, if we can get Brian out the door, then all will be right with the world. This was this week's episode of Ready to Love. I want to know what you guys think of this episode. Was I wrong about some of the couples? Did you see something that I didn't see? Do you agree with what I was saying? I want you guys to let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe and also turn on your notifications. I cannot wait for the other shows to come back on. Of course, Harold and I will be back for Married at First Sight in January. And in between time, we're going to try to think of some more things to do for you guys in terms of topics, relationship topics, things like that, because we definitely enjoy doing this. Thank you guys for listening and talk to you soon. Bye bye.